But nonetheless, let's now shift focus to the second edition of the India Energy Week that kick-started in Goa yesterday. The 4-day conference focuses on key themes of energy transition and a roadmap for sustainable growth. At the event, our colleague Manisha Gupta caught up with Hardeep Singh Puri, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, and began by asking him on India's growth story, outlook on reserves and issues around the Red Sea. Listen in.
If you look at the returns of our profit of our major oil marketing companies in the first 3 quarters, very encouraging. If you look at the importance of energy in our overall trade basket, I think import of crude oil was the largest import item for the country, and the export of petroleum products was also the largest item. So India is not dependent on one or the other. Our refining capacity is going up from the current 254 million metric tons per annum. The Prime Minister said to 450, from 254 to 450. So wherever you look at the transition, when there is global turbulence, you have a very happy situation. A transition takes place faster. Yes. So we have to navigate through 3 things. You have to ensure availability. Nowhere in the country in the last 2-3 years was there ever an energy shortage anywhere in the country. Affordability. Whilst global prices were going through the roof, we had prices in India coming down for 2 years. I answered a start question in Parliament day before yesterday, and I brought out the figures. And finally, sustainability. India's biofuel story is a roaring success. Our efforts that we are making in compressed biogas is there. The work we are beginning to do on sustainable aviation fuel, and more important, green hydrogen. I mean, the Prime Minister, when he was going about around the exhibition yesterday, he came to the BPCL stall where he saw an electrolyzer there, and the kind of interest he's showing. So at the policy level, at the implementation level, at the level of the private sector, public sector, for implementing those policies, I think it's a good story. It is.
I was talking to a lot of people in last couple of days, and we already are 90% dependent on imports when it comes to crude right now.
85%.
85%, sir. So we are at 5 million barrels, give or take some per day right now, and there are expectations, and this is OPEC's report suggesting that we will be 11 by 2040. How is India looking at these numbers?
I have said myself, India is looking at it because India is going to increase the domestic exploration and production. These are capital-intensive processes. If you invest in exploration production now, you'll get the result after some time. But all the recent rounds of bidding, we opened up 1 million square kilometers of no-go area of the sedimentary basin. It's already showing results. So I think, I don't know whose estimate it is, maybe International Energy Agency, 11% of total or 10% of total. Yes, India will be the center of increase in global demand. And the estimates are that in the next 2 decades, 25% of the increase will come from India.
Other thing is about the strategic petroleum reserves, rather the oil reserves. And the numbers show that at current numbers, we are just about 8 days of import. Is enough investment or numbers?
These are issues I don't go into. What our strategic reserves are, we are very comfortable. If we are comfortable, we will have X days or Y days. And the decision on when to top up the reserves. Obviously, if the price is $100, we are not going to be buying petrol at 100. But we have a very innovative scheme that we import, we utilize it for commercial and so there's no issue there. Yeah.
With the way the world map is moving, Red Sea or various things that are happening, would you say that it's very important, and we are at a space as well where India has good relations with the producer countries as well, with the changing dynamic policies of various countries, where would you look at India's, I know you've been having bilateral meetings and almost many countries' representations have been here.
Look, it's like this. There's no issue on that. We have excellent relations with Saudi Arabia, with UAE, with Iran, with countries. There's no issue on that. But some of these actions are not by state actors. They're actions by non-state actors. And when non-state actors do something, what leads me to a position of quiet confidence that we can manage the situation is I think there is a lot of goodwill around. And all the main actors involved are not interested in seeing an exacerbation or an outbreak of total hostilities. So whatever problems there are, they are being faced, some of them being dealt with one way or the other, sometimes persuasion, others through less persuasive but more coercive means. That will go on. But we have no difficulty in this. This is just now anxious. I mean, if I open a newspaper and I see there is problem in some other part of the world, I understand what it is. But we are very confident of being able to navigate this.
Okay, that's the oil minister talking to CNBC TV18.